Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to, of course, my new series. And this is just, it doesn't really have a title, it's just vlog style videos. It's just me blabbling on about a certain topic. Last video was definitely embraced by the community with open arms. You guys commented like crazy. That video just really showed me that these vlog style videos may help a few people. The last video was just about, so you want to be a fragrance reviewer. Now that one helped out, people that were thinking about it, had the itch to be a fragrance reviewer, and some that were in the game reviewing already. This one's going to be tackling where to purchase your fragrances. So this one's going to be a little more for the subscribers out there. Maybe some reviewers are going to find some tips and suggestions handy. But this is just basically my view on where to purchase. My background, easy enough. I've been collecting fragrances for how many years? Since I've been a teenager, so I'm saying over a dozen years now, maybe even 20 years. Kind of scary how old I'm getting now. But I've been collecting for that long. I've done some mistakes when I was younger trying to figure out where to purchase fragrances, because it is a daunting task. You take a look, you go to a retailer, Sears, whatnot, your favorite fragrances, let's say Le Male by Jean-Paul Gaultier, not trying to name names, but yeah, it's happened before, and this thing's $100 for the fragrance, and then you go and you search online and you see it for $50 and you're like, well, why not, right? Pull the trigger. So I'm going to let you guys know what I've done early on in my journey, and of course what I'm doing now. And it's all about your comfort level with certain places. And I'm going to tell you guys little stories from here and there, and how I got started with all this. I own over several hundred fragrances, niche, obscure, high-end stuff to discontinued stuff, designers, your top sellers, and all across the map. If you're a subscriber to me, you know what I have. So I got a little bit of experience that I could share. So let's start this off with what I recommend. First and foremost, I generally recommend, if you're just starting to purchase fragrances and you really want to know, you don't know much about, what there's fakes out there. Just to let you guys know, there is fake fragrances out there. So that's one tip. But buy retail if you can. You may pay a little more, but at least you know 100% that it's legit. There was so many times that early in my collecting, especially once I started getting into niche and or high-end designers, and I was looking for deals, there was some times that I was just like, damn, is this juice legit? I don't even know, like it kind of looks questionable, especially with like creeds and stuff like that. So I want to let you guys know about that. But right now, as my collection stands, what I have available to me, 90% of my whole collection right now is from retailers. Even though I got a huge collection, everybody thinks that I get like huge deals, so I can buy like 10 bottles for like $50. No, I actually pay good money for my fragrances. I pay mostly retail. And I know how tempting it is, especially when you first get into niche and you want, like, let's say Creed Aventus, and it's like $300 on the Creed website, and then you go on FragranceNet and it's like $120 for a bottle, and then you're like, well, I can get maybe Green Irish Tweed too, so I can get Aventus and GIT for the same price of Aventus on the Creed website. Why not, right? So as far as my collection goes, it's especially niche. A lot of it comes from Lucky Scent. Like the bulk of it is Lucky Scent. All my niche hauls are Lucky Scent in New York. Like stuff like boutique stuff like Dior, Chanel, Gucci, stuff like that. I go to the boutiques. I don't go elsewhere. Most of my designers, I go Sears, Shoppers Drug Mart. Duty-free shops is where I go also. I shop there too. So most of my collection is retailers, guys. I don't really go black market or anything like that. That's how I feel comfortable with my purchases and what I have in my collection. Not saying that I don't go on eBay and stuff like that. I will get into those details, but that's mostly where my collection comes from. I'm using splitters now. mostly for my niche hauls. Like recently I'm using the Fragrance Brothers, and you know, you get like several or 8 bottles, and these splitters, they buy the bottle for me, they split it with different people, and I get like half of the bottle, half the juice, and I get the bottle and stuff, and it's really a great way to spend your money. While we're on the topic of splitting, I'm going to talk about splitters. That's going to be my first topic of where to purchase. Splitters are used mostly for high-end stuff, luxury, niche products, you know, $100 or more per bottle. These guys are great for that, especially if you're getting into the ritzy stuff and you don't want a full bottle. You know, some of these only come in 100 milliliter bottles, but if you have a large collection like me, I've kind of learned to scale back. Hey, I just need 50 mils of a bottle. I can split the rest, save some money, get different juices, because I'm a collector. I want more and more. It's a problem. But splitters are great for that. So if you don't know, I'm just gonna give you like a general idea what a splitter is. These are people within our community that purchase a bottle at retail. Again, you can ask the splitter where you're getting the bottle. You know, you can ask that. You're gonna pay them to do a service for you. You can ask them where they're gonna get the bottle. Most of these guys are gonna get it at retail. And they're going to get it at the actual place. Let's say they're splitting a Ventus. They're going to get a Ventus from Creed Boutique, and then they're going to split it. So these people are basically the middlemen. They're going to do all the legwork. They're going to price out the fragrance. They're going to go and purchase it with their own money, or they're going to ask money in advance from you. They're going to have all these tools, a bunch of little bottles, and then decant the juice from the big bottle and put in little bottles for everybody. So that's what it is. You pay for a share. Let's say for a 100 milliliter bottle, you want 20 milliliters. You ask them for 20 mils, they're going to give you a quote. The quote will include, let's say, shipping and handling, the decant bottle, you're buying a little bottle, and of course the juice itself for your share. They decant that in the smaller bottle, and you get your share. So only one splitter, one person in the whole split gets the official bottle and box. Usually it's either A, the splitter, he got into the split and he's just keeping the bottle for himself and the box, or usually you can ask for the bottle and box, see if you can get it, or the person that buys the majority of the bottle gets the true bottle. So for myself, for example, I do splits with the Fragrance Bros. They're gracious enough to do splits for me, and knowing that I'm going to get the bottle in the box. I usually take half of the fragrance. So for a 100 ml bottle, I'm going to get 50 or 55 mils, and I'm going to get the retail stuff. The other people in the split that do split the fragrance with me are going to get just a generic bottle with the splitter is going to put like a little tag on it or a little sticker, and it'll tell you the juice and how much, the juice's name and how much you purchase or something like that. Some are fancier, some are less fancy. It all depends who you go with. So do your research, of course. Again, this is an excellent way to get niche juice without paying full retail or getting a full bottle. This is really great. But again, I have to emphasize this because some people just delve into splits like a madman. Do your research when you use splitters. Do your research on the splitter himself. I'm not trying to bring down splitters and their names or anything. That's not what this video is for. But I've seen so many times on my Facebook group that somebody got burned. So do your research. Ask around about the certain splitter. Make sure they are legit. Make sure what you're doing is legit. So definitely do your research on the splitter. Ask questions to the splitter. You know, where are you getting the juice? How much it's going to cost? Total. All this stuff. And kind of give yourself a clear mind. So look around. Do your research. Now, if you're looking for suggestions from me, I usually only use 1 or 2 people at most. I've used recently the Fragrance Brothers. I can fully tell you that they are legit, so you can use them. They have a YouTube page. I'll put a link down below to their page. And these guys, of course, they work with me. I wouldn't work with anybody else. Fragrance Bros are great. So you can use them on splits. I got a few friends that do splits. I haven't personally used them, but I could vouch for them as far as people go. Dan Mish, of course, Mind Makers. He has a YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link down below to his channel, and he splits quite a bit of stuff. Really some obscure stuff, some high-end niche stuff. He's great. Steve Slurpees 387 is his YouTube handle. I'll put a link down below to that. I personally know him. I haven't used him or Dan, but as people, they're great. So definitely, those are the three that I could recommend. The only reason why is because either A, I've used them before, or B, I know them personally, and I don't see them screwing around with anybody. So those are the people. Now, I do have other people that are on my Facebook group, Fragrance Guru Nation. I'll put a link down below to my Facebook group. There's tons of splitters on that group that are splitting all the time. But again, it's not my it's not my problem if something goes wrong with the splitter. Do your research, definitely. So I'll put some names of some splitters on FGN, and use your own judgment when using a splitter, definitely. But if you're looking for my recommendation, Fragrance Brothers, Dan Mish, and Steve are also all great. Now, if you're looking into this and you're saying, hey, I want to be a splitter, that sounds interesting, I can do this, I'm going to give you a site that gives you all the tools that you need. It's called Accessories for Fragrances, and this lady here is great. I use it for my small little decants. I think I have 5 or 10 milliliter decants that I bring overseas with me. That's just for my personal use, but she's got all the tools. She sells everything that you need to start decanting stuff into little bottles. She's got the little bottles, the 5, the 10, or even bigger even. So that can give you all the tools to get you started, starting to split. So if you want to do it yourself, I'm going to put a link down below. I think it's Accessories for Fragrances. I think she has an eBay account. I'll link all that below if you're looking for that. Splits can be found on Base Notes. Usually most big fragrance groups like Base Notes or Fragrantica's got like a whole section just for that. Again, look for feedbacks. I think they have like little I don't do splits that much, so I can't really tell you too much about it, but I think on Base Notes they got like a feedback thing that you can check if they're legit or not. You got to do that. Do your research. Again, I got to emphasize, I don't want people getting burned. Do your research. On Facebook, there's tons of groups. Again, on Facebook, there's no refund policy on Facebook, so you got to really do your research. There's a lot of reviewers on YouTube that do splits. A lot of them have been on YouTube for years, doing this stuff for years. Again, do your research. Dan, Fragrance Brothers that I could think of, Steve, all great. They're all on YouTube. I got a bunch of guys on my group. John Stagg does like a whole bunch of splits. He's nuts, that guy. He splits. I think he has more juice than me in like a year. So he's a good guy. Freddie Rivera, Cedric, he's got a fragrancetrader.com. He's got a website. I'm going to put that link down below. J Plain J, or J Plain Jane. I'm going to put a link down below to all these people. Again, all these people that I'm naming off, I haven't used. So again, do your research. Not saying that these guys aren't legit, but I haven't used them personally. So I can't give you feedback on them, but they seem like great people, great guys. I see them on FGN all the time splitting stuff, so they can't be all bad, but be careful, because I know some people come back to me and say, hey, I did a split on your Facebook group and this guy stiffed me. What are you going to do about it? Well, what do you want me to do about it? I'll talk to the guy, but I can't get your money back. So again, be careful. These guys are great guys though. Alright, all done with splits. Now time to go to the online game. Now this is my bread and butter. I'm always online purchasing. Purchase. I did so many years of just purchasing online. I'm overseas, I'm bored, I'm buying 10 bottles. Let's go. So online is my bread and butter. I'm going to let you guys know who's good, who's no good. We're going to talk about retailers, discounters, of course. So let's get to it. The first thing I want to suggest, and I want to be hard on this point, is I always suggest to use a retailer, not a discounter. What's the difference? Retailer, Lucky Scent, Sears, Macy's, Neiman Marcus, all these big names. You're going to pay more, but you're going to have peace of mind. That's the thing. There's so many times that I've heard somebody, you know, they saved 20 bucks and they're racking their mind. Is this a real juice? You know, they're freaking taking pictures of the bottle, they're looking through the light, they're testing it all over the place. Hey, if you're gonna save minimal, what, 10 bucks here, 5 bucks here, go retailer, especially if you're gonna go crazy over it. That's just my suggestion. Now, discounters are also great. You're gonna save a lot of money this way with discounters. But again, you know, do your research. And this is something that you're gonna hear a lot in this video. Discounter stores are great for pricing. You know, you can get stuff 50, 60, 70% off. Yeah. And again, you gotta remind yourself in life, you get what you pay for. Sometimes, hey, you hit the jackpot, you got something for, you know, 50 bucks, it retails for 340. Great find. Sometimes you get what you pay for. I had some great service from discounters. And again, I'm going to give you guys my feedback on every single one that I've used and all this stuff. But I also had subpar service from some discounters. You get what you pay for. You know, a lot of these discounters, you're going to get authentic juice. I'm always hearing, I got a fake from here, I got a fake from there. And these people don't really have, I'm not going to say they don't have a clue, but they don't know what to look for. They just keep thinking, I think I got a fake. I'm not sure. Yeah, I got a fake from them. So again, do your research. And if you're really racking your brain and it's going to bother you that much, you know, if you're going to save only $5 to $10 on a bottle with a discounter and you're going to go ape crazy thinking that I get the real stuff, why not pay the extra 10 bucks? You got the peace of mind, you bought it from Neiman Marcus, and you're good to go. They got a great return policy. They got, you know, customer service is good sometimes. So again, do your research. It's got to be worth your while. Now, with discounters, you might be getting, you know, relaxed things that are lacking. Customer service, maybe subpar. You call them, their hours are crap. The customer service is not helping you. Slow service, you know, you purchased the bottle, you're not getting an email confirming your purchase or something like that. Slow shipping, you know, you bought it like 3 weeks ago, where is it? You know, you're trying to get your money back, customer service is crap, you didn't hear from them. You know, stuff like this does happen. Sometimes randomly you're gonna get, you know, you purchase something, a week later you get an email that you got a refund because the fragrance is not in stock, but online it said it was in stock. What you talking about, Willis? I want my bottle, right? So things like that will happen with discounters and also some retailers. Sometimes the package was a returned package. You can definitely see, you get it in the mail and you see, hey, this has been opened before. What's going on? So I'm going to get into all that. Now, you might get spoiled juice. Now, what does that mean? It means juice turned bad, it turned rancid. You're going to smell it and it's going to smell awful. This happens. Again, some people might not know when a juice goes bad, but especially if you've had a bottle before and then you get a new one and it smells bad, you'll know that it went bad, it's spoiled. Now, these fragrances that are spoiled doesn't just come from discounters. Retailers also have fragrances that spoil too. It depends where it was stored beforehand. You know, these retailers might have it in a warehouse for years. So if it smells bad, especially with most retailers, they'll get you, you know, you can return it without a problem, get a new bottle or get a full refund. And that's what I like about retailers, most of them. I wanted to tackle also a website from a fellow reviewer or a YouTube fragrance community member, Frank. He's got this website called Escentual. I'm going to link that down below, and it has online coupons available to you. You can find retailers near you, so if you're looking for a shop near your place, I don't know if he has online retailers, I'm pretty sure he probably does. So go check out Scenttrails. What a great website by Frank. Go check that out, and it'll give you coupon codes, all this stuff. And if you're willing to add to some of it, just there's a contact button that you can contact Frank. or contact him on his YouTube channel and add some retailers or coupon codes that you wish to add to the website. What a great tool. Now, a little bit of details for people that haven't purchased online a little bit. I'm just going to go into a little bit of detail on that. There is details on some fragrances online that it says, you know, unboxed, tester. So I'm going to get into that. Unboxed. Now, unboxed fragrance is basically you're not going to get the authentic box. It doesn't come with a box. It just comes with the juice, the fragrance, the bottle, and the cap. Sometimes the cap. That's all that means. It just means that they lost the box. Usually that's a tester, but most testers don't come with a cap. Unboxed, they come with the legit bottle, legit juice, legit cap. That's all what unboxed means. No box. Tester. Tester. Now a lot of people online say, hey, the tester's, you know, the juice is stronger than the actual fragrance that you're buying. I call bullshit, okay? Testers are testers that, if you don't know, testers are the bottles that they have in shops like Macy's and stuff that you can test out the fragrance. Big companies like this give out like 10, 12 testers per store, Macy's or whatever, so people can spray it on a piece of paper or can test out the fragrance. That's what a tester is. Now online, discounters have testers just because, let's say a shop closes, they got all these testers from, let's say, Armani. Armani doesn't want them. So these discounters bid for them and they get them. They get like the whole store stock and they include some testers. These testers don't have a box, or if they do have a box, it's like a generic box. It's like a generic white box or just a cardboard box. And they usually don't come with a cap either, but it's legit juice. It's the same fragrance that you would buy at a retailer. That's all it is. That's what a tester is. Sometimes it comes with a cap or a generic cap on it, like it's not the real cap, but either or, the juice itself is the exact same stuff that you buy in store. Exact same stuff. It's not more potent than the stuff that you buy. No. Some people will say that it is. It's not. It's the exact same stuff that you have in store. Now, getting niche at a reduced rate will be much harder than what you see for designer. Designers mostly, they go down in price after a while. So you're going to see really good deals on some designers. You know, they start off with $70, $75 retail, and then these discounters get them and they're like $30. That's a huge deal. You'll find them at most discounters, most designers. Niche, a little harder to find a discount on them. You'll see that a lot of them you're going to have a hard time finding a deal on them. That's why splits are so great for niche bottles. But they will, most online discounters will carry the big names in the niche brands. Creed, Bond Number 9, Sergitan, Artisan. The big name niche are going to be Montal, are going to be at these discounters like FragranceNet, Fragrance X, Beauty Encounter, all these, they carry most of these brands, but like really brands like Slumber House, I don't know, I'm just naming some, I'm trying to name, they might not have them. You're going to have to go to the retailers, okay? So that's for niche and designer. Now let's go into websites. All right, so what have I used in the past? Retailers that I trust, of course, Lucky Scent. Lucky Scent's awesome. I've always used them. No, they're not sponsored by me. I just love Lucky Scent. Their customer service is on point. Every time I get a bottle from them, it's legit. It's not a returned bottle where you can definitely somebody played with it. I'm getting what I'm paying for. Sometimes the stuff's out of stock. Sometimes their website doesn't say it. Sometimes their website says it. It'll say, you know, a little disclaimer. It says this is out of stock. You will get your bottle by a month later. And their customer service is awesome. Like sometimes it's not that date. I email them. They say, hey, sorry about that. It's going to be available this time. They include samples in every order. You can customize those samples. You can ask for a certain brand, certain sample. Everything. The only thing with Lucky Scent is coupon codes are rare. You're not going to save much. It's a retail price. I've tried to get a coupon code from them. I'm like, hey guys, I shout you all the time. I say that I love your stuff. I love Lucky Scent. Give me a coupon code. I talked to the owners. One owner wanted me to use it. The other owner didn't. What a jerk. Um, that sucks. I wanted to get a Lucky Scent coupon, but apparently one of the owners just doesn't want to budge. I can't wait to go to Cali and wring his neck. No, I'm just kidding. But Lucky Scent's awesome. That's one of those for niche brands. They got a huge collection of fragrances. Awesome. Another niche brand, a niche store, of course, the place that I went, New York, Min New York. Min's also awesome people working there. The only thing is their website. Their website doesn't get updated as much as I'd love them to. It always says like sometimes stuff's in stock, but it's not. That's the only thing with their website. So it's kind of slow to update. That's the one thing I felt a downgrade with them in New York. Their customer service is good. I've heard some people having problems with their customer service, but the people there are excellent. They're trying their best, and they're a small shop, and they do get a lot of people shopping there now, especially since the fragrance community, YouTube fragrance community, kind of went and loved these guys because they're awesome. They have coupon codes, which a lot of niche places don't, so that's a great place for them. Robes 08, 15% off at Min New York, just to let you guys know. You know, most niche retailers do not give coupon codes, and I gotta applaud Min New York for that. They are very unique with that, and they're awesome with that. 15% off a niche purchases, awesome. So the only thing is the website. I really felt like they should update it a little more. Stuff's in stock. It's not, you know, it's kind of hard because they're a smaller group, but that's my only thing with them in New York as far as what I've experienced. Let's go with a lot of the discounters out here. FragranceNet's always been talking about Fragrance X. I think it's the same company that owns them. I'm not too sure about that, but it's pretty sure. And Beauty Encounter, there's strawberrynet, scentedmonkey. There's tons of these. I haven't used them all, so I'm going to talk about the ones I've used. Let's go with FragranceNet because that's the most popular one. Code Tim9, just a joke, just kidding. FragranceNet, honestly I haven't used that much. Probably 5 or 6 of my bottles in my whole collection is from FragranceNet, so again, I haven't used them that much. I'm going to try to give you guys as much feedback as I can from FragranceNet. FragranceNet, discounter, good and bad. It's a toss-up. They have legit juice. I'm going to give you that. Customer service, half and half. Now with discounters like this, I'm going to put Fragrance X in them also. You get some good and some bad. Customer service is okay. Packaging, okay. I've had problems with packaging with Fragrance X, and sometimes it's not packed the way I want it to, which is weird because it shouldn't be different every time I order. But from year to year, it has been different from both of these. It's old stock sometimes. Now FragranceNet, again, Fragrance X and FragranceNet, Beauty Encounter, all these, they bid on stuff like, let's say a store closed in New York, and they're trying to sell all their stock. Some stock may be, you know, 5 years old. Some stock may be just like a couple months old. So you're gonna get some new stuff, some old stuff, mostly old stuff. Pricing is good. Coupon codes across the wazoo, so you can definitely get a even better deal than what they're advertising. They're one of those that if you get like a really good deal, sometimes they on their website they screw up sometimes. I've seen juices like as low as $5, like, and these are like, let's say an artisan bottle, which is usually retail $100. I've seen like one time that they had an artisan bottle that was like $6, $6.99, and people were like buying like 10 bottles of that stuff. And then a week later, they haven't heard anything from Fragrance, and then a week later they just get a refund. Sorry, we don't have it in stock. And then the next day you see it for $50, which is what it was supposed to be, and it's in stock. And then you're like, what the hell? So stuff like that does happen with FragranceNet, Fragrance X. They may ship you the wrong bottle. I've seen that before, that like if you get like a brand like Montal, sometimes the stock person gets the wrong Montal because they all look the fucking same. So they'll send you like black oud instead of white oud, and you're just like, what the hell's this? Things like that happens. So that's about it for discounters, guys. FragranceNet, Fragrance X, Beauty Encounter. I'm not staking my name that these guys are awesome and you should use them. I'm just saying that for me personally, you're gonna get some good and bad. You get what you pay for with these guys, and but for the most part, I've got legit juice. Also, I just wanted to tackle boxes getting cut up. Some of these guys get juices from stores that they cut the box and cut the code out and kind of blur out the code, scratch off the code on the bottle. It's kind of sketchy in that way, but I've had a couple bottles like that and they are legit. The meaning I heard is the reason why they do that is so that you can't find out where they got the bottle from. I don't know if that's the real legit reason, but I've had legit juice that just had all this stuff scratched out and the bottle, the bottom of the box, and that really sent me a red flag. And that was back in '09 when I first started getting into YouTube and buying bulk, and I saw a couple bottles like that and I red flag immediately, and I'm sure some of you might have seen that before. It's just they just scratch out the code, but it is legit juice. What else could I say? I'm going to put a link down below of all these places: Beauty Encounter, Lucky Scent, Min New York, if you want to check them out. Samples, especially for niche brands, Lucky Scent, Min, the Perfume Court, all excellent. Pricing varies. Perfume Court, I heard some people problem with Perfume Court, they send you the wrong samples. The orders takes a long while to get. But for me, it's been pretty good. I've ordered from them only twice, so it's not that much. But again, people are going to comment below and let you guys know what they think about for them. But for samples, those places are great to get samples. There's a whole other places. Amazon is good to use. I've heard, I haven't used them for purchasing any fragrances, but I've heard really good feedback with Amazon.com or Amazon, the brand. Amazon does use third parties sometimes, so definitely do your research, make sure that you're buying from Amazon themselves, not a third party. If it is a third party, make sure that you trust that third party. First and Fragrance niche website, those guys are great. They also have sampling program. Those are for people in Europe. They're great. First and Fragrance, Cheapsmells, Perfume One, Overstock.com. Again, these are all name drops. I've never really used them, but I hear good things. I'm going to put a whole bunch of links down below here of all these shops. I'm going to put the ones that I've used in one area and then the ones that I haven't used but I heard good things. Again, it's great for you guys to comment below and let people know, hey, I've used these, blah, blah, blah. I've used these guys, blah, blah, blah. Comment below and let people know good, bad, ugly experiences with every company. This will be a great video for everybody for online purchase. Now, in-store purchases is a whole different area. Of course, you're probably not going to get a deal. This is probably going to be the most expensive way of getting it, but at least you get the bottle right away. You know who you're dealing with. Most of the time you know where the store is, so you can return it. You can talk to somebody and see what their return policy, all this stuff. So it's great for you. For me, again, there's these places: Macy's, Sears, Neiman Marcus, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, all these places. I'm not going to name them all off. I've used various ones. Duty free, I use duty free quite a lot, usually just because I travel so much. Usually I buy from them, but only new releases. Again, duty free. They got a lot of stock, and sometimes it's really older releases, and you can't return it. Once you're out of Paris and you're coming back to Canada, you can't go back to Paris and return it to the duty-free shop. So again, I only buy new releases from them because I know the juice just came out like 2 months ago and they just got it. It's not bad. So duty-free, just a thing. A lot of their juices is going to be older stock just because they carry it until they sell it. So again, be wary of duty-free. Sephora, one thing I wanted to name off, Sephora is a good place to go check out fragrances. Their testers may be bad. I've seen a lot of testers being bad just because they got those beaming hot lights on them 24/7. I don't understand that. It's so dumb. But I'm sorry I'm venting, but if you're buying juice from Sephora, make sure that even though it's in a box and stuff, it gets hot in those beaming lights. See if they got it in the warehouse or in the back or something and get the juice from there. It doesn't mean just because it's in a box and it's under red hot lights, It's not going to be that bad, but again, I'd rather be safe than sorry. They'll probably return it if it's bad, but most of their testers are under beaming hot lights for 24/7, and I've seen some juices go bad in Sephora just because of that. I think that's the dumbest idea ever. Now, fragrance stands in the mall, you know, in the middle of the mall, these little kiosks. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about these. I've never purchased from one of them, so I can't really say legit or not legit. But I would, you know, some of them are actually legit. You gotta know your fragrances. Definitely ask for a refund policy or return policy. Again, these stands can be gone the next day, right? I don't trust that. Personally, for me, I wouldn't. But that's just me. You could probably find some discontinued gems for a great rate. So just be careful. And that's the whole theme of this video, is just be careful. I'm not trying to push any buttons, making people all crazy, because people are already crazy about fakes and stuff. But that's the one place that I probably wouldn't be purchasing, is a fragrance stand in the mall. Street vendors, holy shit, stay away from those guys. Those are shady characters, especially New York. Street vendors, I cannot trust them as far as I spit. So guys, those are probably the two warning signs. Anybody that can just get up and leave and you can't go back to the business and refund, I wouldn't. That's just me. Again, some people might know some street vendors, or a little hut in the mall that's like super legit. Again, that's when you put your comments down below. Let us know. I don't have that much experience with them. I try to stay away from them. I'm gonna have some coffee. That's just my personal experience with them. eBay. That's a huge discussion in itself. I'm gonna try to cut it short a little bit. eBay. I use eBay. There's no shame in using eBay. eBay, there's a whole bunch of characters, right? There could be, you know, a shady guy selling fake fragrances. For me, personally, as far as my whole eBay usage, I use eBay now mostly for just hard to find or discontinued fragrances. eBay's pretty good for that. Most of them are at a high rate. But it's a great way to find really hard to find vintage, discontinued fragrances. You know that stuff's going to be legit, most part. Last purchases from eBay were Yohi which was a discontinued fragrance at the time. I paid up the wazoo for it. I think it was like 120 bucks. But I did my research on the person. I looked at his feedback. Again, this is not a fragrance that's going to be sold all the time. It was just to buy it now, and it was super expensive. Retail, it used to retail for like 60 bucks. It's 120 just because it's discontinued, hard to find. Again, these type of fragrances are going to be hard to fake. And they're not going to be faked most of the time. eBay, I would not purchase, my one word of advice, I would not purchase high-end designers. That's it. Top sellers, Acquadigio, Le Male, 1 million. Not saying that all of them are fake on eBay, but that's probably the market. The market's there on eBay for fakes on there. I would recommend to check the guy's feedback. There's actual sites that really just, you can click on just the negatives. Red flags would be, you know, negatives or neutral feedbacks that say, you know, fake, watered down, stuff like that. I just stay away. Feedback's gotta be 100%. Even 100% doesn't say the whole story. So again, you gotta be careful on eBay. I've encountered people that had 100%, people don't give them bad feedback, but they're selling fakes on there. So eBay, you gotta be careful. Again, for me, all I use it for now is hard to find fragrances, discontinued, vintage juice. It's good for that. You get it for a deal. Sometimes you overpay, but you find it. So eBay, good for that. Now I just want to finish off this video with really just one final piece of advice or tip or a suggestion would be sampling. Sampling is your friend. When you're buying online, don't do what I do, kids. Blind buying is not a good habit to have. I love the excitement of blind buying. That's just me. But I always say to people that are thinking of blind buying a fragrance, I say, try to get a sample. You know, even if it's, you know, if you can get it at the retailer and try to find a sales associate that'll make a little decant. Some stores are great for that. Macy's and there's a lot of them. Sephora's pretty good at it. It depends where you go, but you can ask for a free sample. Online, you can buy a little samples, especially for niche fragrances. I know people come up to me and go, hey, should I blind buy a Green Irish Tweed? No, it's not for everybody. Just because I say it's a 10 out of 10, it's not 10 out of 10 for everyone. So sample before you buy. Even if you have to buy a sample for $5, you don't know how many times that I got a sample pack from Lucky Scent and I'm like, thank God I got a sample for $4. It just saved me $400. Yeah, the $4 sample is, you know, an extra cost if I love the scent, but it's worth it for me. Decanters, splitters are your friend. And you can also contact the companies themselves. I know a lot of people that contact like Hermes or a niche brand, Deep or something like that, and ask for samples, you know, nicely, and they'll send it to your home. Some are really generous, some aren't so much. Sometimes you call a company and ask for, I think Frederic Mall, they charge, or the samples are free, but they charge you for shipping or something like that. So different companies, different stuff. Depends. Do your research again. But sampling is a huge part of this. Blind buying, I do not recommend. Don't do what I do, kids. It's expensive and it's stupid. But I still do it. It's addicting. But just some tips. Hopefully you found some of this information handy for you. It doesn't cover the whole spectrum, but at least it lets you know where I shopped and some experiences along the way. Hopefully it helps out some people. And I highly suggest everybody, you know, if you've had an experience with any of these companies I'm talking about, or a company that I haven't talked about, comment below. Tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly of each of these fragrance companies. And, you know, everybody has a different experience. You know, some companies I might say that are great, some other people say no. But at least the more comments below, the more feedback that we get from every one of us. We're trying to help each other, finding great places to purchase these fragrances that we love so much. So hopefully you appreciate this video. You know, I always love to hear you guys' feedback. You know, if you don't have a comment about any of these places or any shopping, comment below. Let me know what you thought about the video, any info that I missed. I can make a second video about this. I'm hoping to do more vlog styles, but style videos. I got a couple more in my head right now. I'm just thinking about a couple more ideas, but hopefully this helps out a lot of you. So thanks for watching. Much appreciated.